hasn't even been peeing on himself. Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. So one of our dairy goats that is due to give birth this weekend is one day late, which does happen. They can give birth within 5 days of their due date on either side, and so no big deal. I had hoped to share a birth video with you today, but so far no signs of labor. We're about to go check on the girls right now. I also have a doe over here who is in heat and doesn't appear to like her boyfriend. I also have 3 rabbits here that I bred a month ago that were supposed to give birth and didn't. So I don't like this theme that's going on. Now with the rabbits, at least I think I know what's going on with them. I used 2 different bucks with these 3 different does over here. Very likely it was just still too hot outside when I bred them. Buck rabbits will go sterile in the heat. Usually you can get by breeding them earlier in the day, and they do just fine, but it doesn't look like it worked out this time. And if those rabbits don't give birth this week, I can always breed again and we'll have bunnies in another month. Nobody is home right now. They've been out grazing very well. A lot of our pasture has started to die off. There's still quite a lot of clover, and the clover is actually flowering, which I don't know if I have seen this late in the year before. Believe it or not, the goats don't really eat the clover. Not that I've noticed. They prefer the longer grasses and things to the clover, which sounds backwards, but it is what it is. So here's our big pasture. I call this the pond pasture. We've got a pond over here by the tree line. Got my eyes out looking for long grass that's rustling with goats moving through it. And I've got my ear out too, because one of my goats has a bell on. And sometimes I can hear it, but if she's not moving very much, I can't hear the bell. Some of this grass is genuinely as tall as me, so even the big girls get lost out here. Over next to the pond, we've got kind of this ridge that helps hold the water in. And usually when I stand up here, I can see them, but I can't. So that means they're probably way in the far corner, which has been their favorite spot lately. This is going to be really hard to catch on camera. But these little asters, these cute little flowers, there's a ton of honeybees in here. Oh, the turtle went in there. Hello there, Calamity. Hi, ma'am. This has been their favorite spot lately, mostly because there's still quite a lot of really nice grass over here. Because of the way the trees are situated around here, there's not as much intense sun beating down on this particular area. Most other places on our property just see quite a lot of sun. And while sun is good, sometimes it can just fry things. You enjoying that crunchy leaf, ma'am? Calamity's recently rejoined the herd because she is now bred. The buck that I bred her to, Odie, was too short to reach, so he needed a little bit of a boost. I took a video of it. I'm going to put it in a video that's coming relatively soon about goat breeding. I'm going to put it in my playlist for the goat husbandry series. But she's bred, makes me happy. Hey! Oh, what a nice little hill you guys are on. Hello! So as far as pregnant mamas that are due to give birth, we have Pepper, who is due Tuesday, which is 2 days away from the time of recording. We have Pesky back here, also due on Tuesday. And then Mayhem, she's our girl that's a tad overdue, but it's an estimate for a reason. Just like with people, it's not an exact science. All these girls definitely have nice udders developing, but nobody's udder has exactly popped. And what I mean by popped is It's biggish right now, and it is filling up. It's obviously got way more milk in it than it did a month ago. But when an udder pops, it swells to where it looks like it's about to burst. It gets pretty tight, and you kind of look at it and you say, whoa, that has grown in a short amount of time. And usually once you see the udder pop, you will see kids within 24 hours. Very often it'll be 12 hours. No udder popping here, so no babies, at least today. Maybe not tomorrow, but she could surprise me. They all could, really. I mean, we could have all 3 deliver on the same day. That would be kind of crazy, but it also would be fine. We would make do. They don't really necessarily need me, every single one of them, in order to give birth. It's a very rare instance where I have to intervene. All 3 of these girls have had no problems at all delivering, and so I'm not really worried about them. What are you running from? We put in this pond pasture like 18 months ago, hoping that we would have way more forage going into and through winter than we've ever had before. And until recently, the girls really haven't spent a lot of time back here. I think they've been really skittish of the area, but lately it's clear that they're super comfortable. They have been getting a lot of forage down here, and I haven't had to feed hay out here quite yet. I don't know when I'm gonna have to start, but so far so good. So they're doing good down here. No signs of labor from our pregnant girls. So I am going to go tend to Tempest and Nefarious, because Tempest is in heat and she is not a fan of Nefarious. This is her second heat while being exposed to Nefarious, and she keeps butting him away. I have not seen that before. Well, hello, handsome man. Where's your lady? Doesn't matter because the one over here is in heat, right? Well, that's your daughter. How are you, handsome boy? So Tempest here isn't in a particularly strong heat right now. Usually you can kind of tell when they start to enter a heat, and then they'll have like peak heat. It's called standing heat, when they actually will stand and allow themselves to be bred by the buck. I saw her flicking her tail. It's called flagging. I saw her doing that earlier in the day today. She was really excited about our mini La Mancha buck Feral. He had been sharing a fence line with this pasture, but he was really eager to breed her, as bucks should be. And I got nervous because I have heard that they can sometimes figure out how to breed through a fence. So I moved him. I also moved Titus, who is Tempest's uncle, and this span between that back pasture and this one is 15 feet. Smells will absolutely still drift, so these guys, they know that there's a doe in heat somewhere close by. But with this spacing, the bucks aren't going to be able to fight through the fence, and they're also not going to be able to obviously breed through the fence. Nefarious here is only 6 months old. He was born in March. You're so cute. And I haven't really seen him act particularly bucky. We'll go visit the back buck pasture in just a second so you can get an idea of what I'm really talking about, but I haven't seen him really do any of the classic buck behaviors. He's absolutely able to breed right now, but he's still probably the tiniest bit immature. He doesn't know what's going on. He's never had a girlfriend before in his life. So we're definitely gonna cut him some slack because he's new. Yeah. Say, I'm new. I'm new on these streets. Normally you really wouldn't want to snuggle up to a buck like this during rut, during the breeding season, but he hasn't even been peeing on himself like they normally do, so he's still snuggleable at the moment. My hope was to have all of my does bred by the beginning of November. So even if he doesn't get Tempest this go round, she should cycle again in around 3 weeks, and then 3 weeks after that. And so we've got some time for him to come into his purpose. She'll be hanging out with him until she's bred. You'll get the idea. You will. You're not stinky in the least bit. No, not at all. Well, hey boys. How you doing? I know you really wanted her for a girlfriend, but you're too big. You're too big for her. Yeah. So Nefarious wasn't particularly stinky, but Feral definitely is. He's a cream-colored buck, but you can tell he's got a little bit of yellow on his face. I'll let you guess why. Someone got you in the face, buddy. Aww. It actually doesn't look new. You're all right. See that weird like blubbering and sniffing and strange courtship behavior? That's what I mean by acting bucky. I've never seen Nefarious do that. And it's not that he won't, he just needs to come into his skin a little bit. It's gonna take a tiny bit of time. Feral was born in February. Feral is only a month older than Nefarious is. So it shouldn't be long before he gets the hang of it, which is good. I really cannot wait for his babies to hit the ground. Speaking of babies hitting the ground, as soon as one of the ladies goes into labor, I will let everybody know in the community tab. So pay close attention to the community tab because the information is going to be there in real time, which obviously happens faster than I can record and edit a video.